I'm Remington Miller.
And I'm Kiara Bradford, and welcome back to
Friday Frights.
And happy Halloween.
Yes, can you believe this is the last time we're going to sit down here on a Friday and swap stories?
No,
I'm kind of sad.
No, I'm crying over here. I've had so much fun, sitting down with you over these last 5 weeks, these last 5 Fridays, and just,
I've enjoyed, looking into these pieces of, legend and lore and going over them with you. Maybe, the best part of all these scary stories and, little, recounts of, Arkansas history is that they brought us, the listeners, and probably hundreds of other Arkansans together.
I feel connected, and I feel connected to Arkansas while telling ghost stories.
Yes,
so fun.
It's the best thing.
Yeah. So should we just kick it off?
Yeah, so, Kiara, do you have a story for me?
I have a little story, a little history, if you will. So today we're going to talk about the Arlington Hotel.
Oh, okay.
You know a little bit about the Arlington, don't you?
I know that it's in Hot Springs, but that's about it.
All right. Well, first of all, did you know it's apparently a little haunted?
I didn't.
Well, first, let's break down a little history. I looked up on the Encyclopedia of Arkansas for a lot of this information. The Arlington Hotel was built at the dawn of the city's golden era as a resort destination. This was before Las Vegas and Florida. We had Hot Springs golden years, which was right after the Civil War. And amongst the largest hotels in the state, the Arlington is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the city of Hot Springs and Arkansas. And amongst the bathhouse district, it is the destination for the wealthy and famous.
Oh, look at it go.
Well, it used to be. Anyway, It used to be the destination for the wealthy and famous.
Did the haunting ruin that, or?
Time, I think. Time ruined that.
It gets all of us eventually.
So following the Civil War, the city of Hot Springs quickly began to regain its popularity as a tourist destination in response to a shortage of hotels to accommodate the growing number of visitors. Samuel Fordyce, the railroad executive, after which the city of Fordyce was named after, and the Fordyce Bathhouse, offered to help finance a luxury hotel with Samuel Stitt as his partner, and they completed the original Arlington in 1875.
Okay.
Which was the largest hotel in the state at that point.
Okay.
But the Arlington, as you see it today, which we'll probably, we'll show, is not the first one. It's not the original. Did you know?
No, what happened to the original?
So, the original hotel was located across Fountain Street, which Fountain Street is where the current Arlington is. So it's basically right across the street. This site is now a public park.
Oh, keeping it local? Okay.
The first location was unique in that it was the only hotel property on an original Hot Springs National Reservation land.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably good it's a park now.
Yeah.
In 1893, to keep up with the other nearby hotels such as Eastman, Majestic, Park, the Arlington was raised and built on the same site with they built a new location. So this is, first of all, our Arlington is Arlington number 3. I think I should have prefaced that at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
It's there's been some changes.
Some juniors in there.
Yeah, so there was the first one, and then in 1893 there was a second one that was built to be bigger to compete with all the other raising hotels and resorts nearby.
It's so crazy that it was the first and then it was having to play catch up.
Yeah, it was the first, and then
if I was a building, I'd be mad.
All less than 20 years later, it had to be revamped, and then the one that we know, the third one. On April 5th, 1923, an employee of the hotel noticed smoke coming from an electrical panel. Authorities were notified as a fire began to spread. William Pinkerton, the founder of the famous security service and a guest at the hotel at the time, was so certain, as were others, that the fire was controlled that he sat on a veranda and smoked a cigar.
Now, this seems like one of those scenarios where it's just in case I'm wrong.
He thinks that there's a controlled fire in the building. So he's like, oh, they got it. I'm going to light another fire.
Yeah, fires can always get out of... did Smokey the Bear never... Only you. I mean, I know that's forest fires, but also, come on.
I mean, nothing really happened to him, but instead of
That's
retrieving his belongings, he smoked a cigar and lost everything to the fire.
That'll do it, yeah.
So yeah, everything was lost to the second Arlington Hotel. Owners began discussing building, another one on Fountain Street, but they decided to just remove the hotel from that site entirely, move it across the street. And then on October 25th, 1923, they were quick with it.
Yeah, they really were.
The ground broke, and it was completed in 1924.
Do we think they set the second Arlington on fire with that quick turnaround?
They
had some plans ready.
An
electrical fire, you said?
Literally, April 5th, 1923, fire. October 25th, ground broke for a new Arlington.
No, that's pretty. Well, you know what okay, I guess. Maybe, I guess if I didn't have my hotel anymore, what else would I have to do?
I guess.
Not running a hotel.
Not run a hotel. Think of something else. Another business.
I had a good iding I'm sticking with it.
It was fine. It's like the Capitol.
Yeah, literally, yeah. They were the 14,000 penitentiaries they built. They kept rebuilding on that land, and then before it became the Capitol, yeah, for sure.
But get this, since we're turning it back to the Capitol, it was completed on November 28th, 1924 as the third and current version of the Arlington Hotel. It was designed by George R. Mann, who was the primary architect for Arkansas State Capitol.
There's got to be like a conspiracy theory. These like low-key haunted places. He was like, you know what? I want to design buildings for haunted places. He was
somehow involved. I'm not saying nothing allegedly, but
I'm just saying.
A
That's
coincidence?
Twice he's pulled up.
After a fire. I'm just saying.
Somebody check if he has a fireproofing business on the side.
So, throughout its history, the Arlington has hosted notable people and events. Joe T. Robinson, former governor,
Oh, I was a high school graduate from Joe T. Robinson.
Okay, I was like,
it's so rare to see him out in the wild. Yeah.
Former governor and U.S. senator from Arkansas. He announced his Democratic nomination for vice president in 1928 at the Arlington.
Hotel? Okay.
On the front steps of the Arlington, and he used the hotel as his campaign headquarters.
That's kind of cool.
That is.
Like I support that. Give me a good candidate of a hotel. Just
to set up some his head.
Where else would you set up? Now that I'm thinking about it, where does anyone else set up now?
Office buildings.
Yeah, no,
that's boring.
Yeah, a haunted hotel.
Listen, I don't think it was haunted then.
Well, now I want you to pick the haunted hotel.
Well, we also have other infamous people, like infamous gangster Al Capone would regularly book the 4th floor for himself and his associates. You remember that, Al? Anyway.
Not the casual Al Capone drop. You see the whole floor?
Like I said, the Arlington was the happening place before Las Vegas and Florida. Yeah. No disrespect to Hot Springs, but it's hard to imagine. I don't know.
It really is, like, to just be like, where we're gonna go, guys? I got a place. Hot Springs.
Like, just like seeing it today, which is not, it's great today, but they're saying like it was the Las Vegas at the time. Just like, I'm like, okay.
That's so interesting. And then the whole 4th floor.
Al Capone would rent out the entire 4th floor. His favorite room was room 443. Other notable celebrities.
How did they know that was his favorite?
Apparently he would sleep in that one. I don't.
See, I feel like as an infamous gangster, I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie. If I'm sleeping, I'm going to fib. I'm going to lie. Well, of course I love room 443.
I mean, I guess that was his favorite room, and like employees clocked that because like he would rent out the whole 4th floor, but specifically stay in 443. But I mean, I guess some rooms are better than others, but I would change locations.
Yeah, you would never catch me in the same room twice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know how long you were staying there, Al, but you would not catch me in the same room twice until you had to.
No disrespect, but
yeah. I mean, I guess if their room was that bad, I'd be like, hey, make this like room 443.
Just keep changing the nameplate on all the rooms.
Yes.
Also, Babe Ruth. Also came to the Babe Ruth was a frequent visitor to the Arlington Hotel when the Boston Red Sox would do spring training.
Heard. Okay.
Apparently they would do their spring training here.
Good for them.
Of course, with old buildings, there are gonna be ghosts.
not necessarily. They don't have to go hand in
But
hand.
historically in history and historically on this show.
Yeah. The older you are, the more of a chance of a ghost you got.
There gonna be some ghosts. So let's go ahead and get to the ghost stories. So this was on Fright Find. Patrons of the hotel tell stories of seeing people eerily dressed in old-fashioned clothing, walking down the halls or strolling in the lobby before simply disappearing in air. I read a thing before I get into the more of the ghost stories. I did read a thing about the Arlington and its ghosts, and people are like, yeah, the Arlington is definitely haunted, but management and the employees will not talk about it. Which I was like, I don't think they do ghost tours, but I kept seeing that pop up everywhere. It was like, they won't talk about it, they won't tell stories.
Maybe it's like, if I will say that I do kind of believe if you talk about something, you might lure it to you. And I guess if I was there every day, I'd be like, stay away.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to repel.
I was like, I've saw several people be like, yeah, I took a ghost tour, but I was like, I thought they didn't talk about it.
Maybe only the ghost tour people do.
I guess that makes sense. Some people speak of seeing a young girl in a pink dress in the lobby.
Oh.
Other reports seeing a ghost of a woman in one of the two towers wearing a wedding dress, staring at the stars.
Good for her. That sounds
Is
like
it good?
None of these ghosts sound like. I mean, I would be a little freaked out if I was sitting there in the lobby and being like, "Did I just see that person walk by?" But
Imagine it's a woman in a wedding dress just staring at stars. That sounds sad.
It sounds low, but I'd be like, oh, she's enjoying her last moment of peace.
I guess.
I mean, not that marriage is nearly a peaceful, but a new chapter. Well, I guess for her it was a really new
chapter in life or death.
Yeah.
Others have reported seeing an old hotel bellman, Henry Tweedle, on the 4th floor of the building.
That's such a bellhop name.
I know.
Tweedle.
Come on.
He knew exactly what he was born to do.
He walks through closed doors before disappearing. Faucets are said to be turned on and off by themselves. People being brushed by something when no one is there. Ghostly laughter.
Now, see, that I wouldn't like. I'd much rather see a ghost than hear a ghost.
That's weird. I guess you would want to see who's coming up on you.
Yeah.
And also lights turning off and on. Yeah, it says like the hotel very well seems haunted, yet management may be keeping a tight lip on any ghostly scuttlebutt.
Oh, they may?
Reports have it that several rooms within the hotel have been permanently locked, and some have even been walled up to prevent both guests and hotel staff from entering.
Give me the room numbers. I feel like I brought the exact opposite energy of Keller's Chapel into this, where I'm like, show me the rooms.
You're like, Keller's Chapel, stay away.
But bricked up rooms?
Honestly,
open them.
There's a creepiness factor because this one, it's inside, but Keller's Chapel, it's outside.
Yeah. And people were always going in the dark at night.
Yeah.
I just want to explore this bricked up room at like noon.
In the daytime, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so last we talked about...
How do people find this out? Like, I'm trying to think, you see like a nice workman just bricking the
boarding
door,
up
and
the
you're just
room.
like, what's going on there, sir?
Just nosy people being nosy.
What is a reporter?
As we talked about before, our friend Al used to rent the entire 4th floor for him and his associates. His favorite room was 443, where Al Capone could see apparently out this room, out the window. He would see the Southern Club, which the Southern Club was at the time, a gambling and entertainment joint that opened up in 1893, and it was a very happening place back then for debauchery.
Al, I too am a people watcher. Who isn't?
He had to keep. You had to keep tabs on all your stuff, didn't you, Al?
I mean, if I'm gonna rent out this floor enough recently, I'm gonna know what's happening.
Yeah. Guests and employees have said that the elevator mysteriously will travel.
Now, I will say I do have a fear of like regular elevators.
This is where we draw the line.
Absolutely. I will not get in your haunted elevator.
It will mysteriously open and travel to the 4th floor and stop as if it's dropping someone off.
Al, you better take the stairs. Take these stairs. That's so... Oh, no. Can you imagine if you were like just in the elevator, you're like on floor 7, or I don't know how many floors are on the Arlington, but like you're just like going to a higher floor, and then all of a sudden it just stops at 4, opens. I'd cry instantly.
I'm like, okay, on your way then. Some more notable just floors and happenings are the 7th floor. 7 is said to have strange going-ons, and in particular, unnamed room.
Maybe I won't go to the 7th floor. I know I just said that in my hypothetical, but how could I have known?
People have had the feeling of being tapped on the shoulder, brushed against something when no one's there. Employees have had their hair lightly pulled when no one's around.
Heck no.
Kinky.
I can't.
You know. This is Freaky Friday.
You were ready with that.
I wasn't. But okay. The bellman, as we talked about, is also known to walk around the 4th floor. The 11th floor, a man's laughter can be heard near the elevators. A man in a black suit have been seen around the laundry room. Some say room 824 houses an evil spirit, but stories do not corroborate. Apparently, a guest did report an experience there, but the spirit's nature did not appear to be malevolent.
Like malevolent, like evil,
yeah.
Imagine this ghost tweaking out on you, and you being like, guys, and then be like, there is a ghost in 824, but he's chill.
Cool.
That's Henry. You're fine.
Gentle.
I'd be so mad. I'd be like, get me out of this hotel.
It said that room 666 was changed to 667.
As it should be. That's literally welcoming evil in.
And the boarded up rooms, there are several boarded up rooms, and people said they hear doors slam shut and ongoing whispers of conversation from time to time.
I'm too nosy. I'd be putting my ear and be like, what are they saying?
I got 2 stories from the Arlington real quick, and that's all for me. So we have a story from on this Fright Find website from Kayla. I just stayed in the Arlington Hotel on January 11th to January 13th, 2018.
Okay.
And it is true that a man's laughter can be heard. Also on the 5th floor, the floor I stayed in the conference room, it was very chilly. Then it warmed up at random. I think that's how air conditioning works. I
don't know about that chill to heat, though.
And in the 4th floor bathhouse and vending machine area, you can hear knocking on the service elevator. The TV will change channels. Things will knock on your door. It is really creepy. If you go up on the stairway past the 7th floor, you'll get yelled at and told you can't go up there. And apparently they lead to the bell tower, where you're supposed to be able to see a young woman dressed in a wedding gown. So that was her experience.
That's crazy.
She stayed for 2 days and had a whole bunch of stuff happen, it sounds like.
I don't know if I could have made it through.
Honestly, that seems pretty chill compared to Keller's Chapel.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. If I have to pick the Arlington or Keller's Chapel, I'm taking the Arlington.
And then the last one came from Arkansas Haunted House, which was, it's titled Al Capone's Suite Houses Negative Spirits.
Oh,
what you doing,
Al?
Al? Come on, Al.
Come on, they let you take the elevator all the time.
Yeah. This was posted on February 12th, 2021. I stayed in this suite alone, and it just already started off bad.
What are these people going alone for?
And all night was seeing movement in the corners with nothing there. And then later that night got the more paranormal experiences. I began to hear whispers beside me and breathing for what sounded like a person.
Oh, that would actually freak me out.
I know. It sounded like a person standing in front of me. When I tried to go to sleep, I was taunted by pitch black apparitions floating by my peripheral. Throughout the entire duration of my stay, I did not feel welcome in that room. There was a very negative weight that you could feel as soon as you walked in, and I have no plans on returning.
That might be the smartest thing that happened.
That might be for the best.
Yeah. Leave Al to his... First of all, you're already on his floor. That's thin ice.
You're on his floor.
Now you're in his favorite room.
You're in his bed.
He said, thin ice. I've been here all this... Get out.
He said, nobody stays in here but me and my boys.
Not even. The boys had the rest of the floor. This is mine.
It's mine. So I can see my stuff going on in the Southern Club.
Literally. I just leave them alone.
So that was the Arlington Hotel. Do you have another hotel for us?
Oh, are
we traveling?
Well, it wouldn't be a very ghostly guest episode if we weren't going to another hotel.
I love this. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'm taking you to probably one of the most famous haunted places, if not hotels, in the state.
All right.
The Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's heard about it. It's up in Carroll County, Northwest Arkansas, about a 3.5-hour drive from Little Rock. It was built in 1886, and I also read up on the Encyclopedia of Arkansas. It boasted every modern convenience, from electricity to elevators, and it was well known for its location near the springs, and it supposedly held healing waters. And I'm just now realizing both of ours were near springs. And
Hot Springs, Eureka Springs.
Are the spirits in the springs?
Spirits in the Springs. That's going to be the new title of this episode.
Who knows? But it had these healing waters, and it sounds pretty lovely, especially for 1886.
Yeah. They said electricity, babe.
And it
over
opened
here.
its doors in May, so it.
Especially when people need it, because we all know Arkansas summers.
Oh, yes, for sure. Before even being open a month, a banquet was held for a guest of honor, James G. Blaine. He was the 1884 Republican presidential nominee, and a ball was held for 400 attendants.
Also, 2 springs, 2 presidential nominees.
Yeah. But this one had a ball, and we need to bring back those kind of events.
A ball?
Yeah.
I want to go to a good ball.
Yeah, that would be fun. I was like, oh, they don't announce these nominees with these kind of balls anymore. Yeah,
no, not here anyway.
Anyway, things didn't say good, or we wouldn't be talking about the Crescent Hotel, would we? So by the 1900s, the hotel was only opening in the summer months because of the economy.
Oh, yes.
In order to help the facility be used year-round, a plan was made to open an elite girls' boarding school. So in 1908, the Crescent College and Conservatory for Young Women opened and operated September through June, and then during the summer, it would convert back to a hotel.
So it wasn't even a hotel by that point?
It was just only in summer. It was a summer place.
Okay.
We couldn't all be former Las Vegas before Las Vegas, okay?
But
they said this building needs more use. We're not going to let it fall into disrepair.
So let's put a girls' school in it, because nothing ever bad happens at all girls boarding school.
I wish I could go back and be a fly on the wall when they're dang, we need this building to be used more, and they were girls' school.
Yeah,
I guess. And then the school was open actually for around 16 years. And then it closed, reopened again, and the hotel was sold during that time, and that leads us to where things start to get spooky.
Not with the all-girls school?
No, actually, this is a fun piece of history. Okay. I just wanted to show you how metamorphic this Crescent Hotel is. It wore a lot of hats.
It wore a lot of layers, as they say.
Yeah. In 1937, the hotel was purchased by Norman Baker.
Okay.
He opened the Baker Hospital and Health Resort in 1938 to serve cancer patients. But let me tell you a little bit about Norman Baker.
Can we just pause for 1 second? That was so close to being Norman Bates.
I think it carries. I think the name Norman carries a bad energy. Okay.
It was Norman Bates opened this hotel.
So, the Encyclopedia of Arkansas defined Norman Baker as anti-Semitic and anti-Catholic. He was also a radio pioneer and a candidate for the U.S. Senate seat and the governor of Iowa. He was a candidate for both those things. This was all before he became this promoter of alternative medicine. So remember, I introduced you. He's opened this hospital type thing.
Yeah.
So that was before the hospital. He was all of those things.
Okay.
In 1925, he got the Chamber of Commerce to sponsor his radio station. It was KTNT, which stood for Know the Naked Truth. Although originally licensed at 500 watts, the station power was often closer to 10,000 watts, which meant that this could be heard across the United States.
Okay.
So this was
we going global.
Yeah, this was at least national. Yeah,
national.
It's a very big radio station that could be heard by a lot of people. So he focused on rural and small town issues, and he supported Republican Herbert Hoover over Democrat Al Smith in the 1928 presidential race. And after Hoover's victory, he was invited to a private meeting with the president.
Oh, so this was if you gotta help me.
Yeah, but for a radio station that he just kind of started, that was supposed to be small, that to being invited by the president. This was like a big thing. And in 1929, Baker denounced the American Medical Association and claimed that he had a cure for cancer.
Sure.
He organized the Baker Institute at Muscatine, so that's in Iowa, and he had this 100-bed hospital staffed by, and I quote the Encyclopedia of Arkansas, chiropractors, osteopaths, and physicians from diploma mills. Diploma mills essentially sell like these fake academic credentials.
This sounds more correct than a cure for cancer.
Yeah. So
No
Baker
disrespect.
had no real training in medicine.
Of course
The
he
only
did.
thing he was before he was a radio host was like a machinist, and he organized his own traveling troupe that starred a mind reader called Madame Pearl Tangley.
Okay, so he had a quote-unquote cure for cancer, and he's now giving out degrees when he has no medical training, but actually the opposite, where he's doing psychic things.
It really was just like that. That was like his traveling like acting troupe that had a Madame Pearl Tangley. It really, these are definitely skills. Maybe not the skills one might assume you need to run a hospital.
I mean, I don't just want skills to run a hospital.
You know, besides promising to cure cancer, Baker spoke out against aluminum pots and pans, fluoridation of water, vaccinations, and even bovine tuberculosis testing. The AMA pressured the Federal Radio Commission to shut down Baker, and he did end up losing his license in 1931. As
He
the
didn't
station
have a
host.
license.
Well, he had a radio license.
Oh, okay.
So his the Know the Naked Truth was a was a licensed station. So now without his radio advertising, his hospital business declined.
No.
He responded to the American Medical Association's criticism by attacking Dr. Morris Fishman's Jewish faith and suing the AMA for calling him a quack, a faker, and a charlatan. So he said that the AMA was calling him those things. They weren't true. The trial in 1932 went against Baker. It was found out that his cancer cure was nothing more than clover, corn silk, watermelon seed, and water.
Oh, no. I did not see this coming. He was a fake. For those listening at home, I totally don't have a skeptical look on my face.
Yeah, he also lost his bid to become governor of Iowa around this time.
Of course he wants to go into politics.
So it was a very tough time for him. And for a few years after he loses his radio license, the trial doesn't go his way, he loses his bid for governor. He teams up with this guy in Mexico, Dr. John Brinkley.
Okay. Is this an actual doctor?
Who made his name transplanting goat glands into male patients. I didn't look at what for, and maybe that was for the best. Brinkley was kind of doing what Baker was. He had a radio station too, and Baker eventually followed Brinkley to Arkansas. So that's kind of how he gets
bring
from
this to Arkansas.
Yeah, that's how he gets to where he was doing in Iowa before to how he gets to Arkansas. And he purchased the Crescent Hotel, like I said, in July 1937. He painted virtually everything lavender or purple.
You know what? He's back in my favor. That's my favorite color. Let's go.
The polychrome lobby was decorated in red, yellow, orange, and black, along with like a calliophone on the roof. Like this is like sounding like a pretty eccentric hotel, going from like the top of luxury to like girls'
Dr.
school.
Seuss? Doctor?
I'm no interior designer, but it does sound interesting. So it's actually kind of funny because the Arkansas Democrat Gazette actually kind of wrote about Baker semi-recently in 2019.
Oh.
There were more than 400 glass bottles that were unearthed in like the backyard of the Crescent Hotel. Our own reporter, Bill Bowden, wrote that according to Eureka Springs lore, in the hospital morgue, Baker had rows of jars full of samples of tumors that had been removed from patients. A full-page advertisement in the hospital's magazine included pictures of the jars.
No. It was not. No. I'm coming up with a conspiracy theory right No.
And so the ad said, "We have had hundreds of specimens like these, actual cancer specimens, and the laboratory data proves all. All specimens are preserved in alcohol." So that's what the ad said. And the bottles in the advertisement look a lot like the bottles that were buried behind the 133-year-old at the time, like Crescent Hotel.
So, hold on.
Oh, I have more about the bottles.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, Mike Evans, who was like the station assistant archaeologist with the Arkansas Archaeological Survey in Fayetteville, who'd been working at the site, was quoted saying, "These bottles perfectly match with the posters and photographs of Baker's bottles at that time." He told the ADG that the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality and the Arkansas State Police were called in, and state police officers determined that it wasn't a crime scene or a burial site. And apparently the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality took samples and said that it's mostly alcohol, so it's safe. In that same article, Jack Moyer was the vice president and general manager of the Crescent Hotel, said that he doesn't believe Baker performed surgeries on live patients at the hospital in Eureka Springs, but he performed autopsies on the patients who died there.
This man had no medical degree, no training. Let's go ahead and put that on the docket. They think he was doing autopsies. They don't know for sure. They don't know nothing. And he's putting out advertisements saying he'll take out your tumor and put it in a bottle? And then he buried all the bottles. Who knows what's actually in the bottles? They say it's alcohol, but I don't know. I'm going to talk to Bill about this. I need to know.
Yeah. And it was even, there's this gentleman, Keith Scales, who leads ghost tours at the Crescent Hotel, and he told the ADG that records indicate that about 40 people were taken from the hospital to the morgue during the 20 months that Baker operated the hospital. I'm
gonna go back to what time period was this?
Like 1937 was when he bought the hotel, and he opened it. It's like the hospital in 1938.
I'm gonna go back to 1937 because apparently y'all could just do whatever you want, and nobody even bats an eye. 40 people go not missing. I was about to say missing. People get dead.
They were taken from the hospital to the morgue, and I can't think of a reason you would bring live people to the morgue. 40 people get dead to this man who owns a hospital with no medical training. I'm gonna just keep saying that over and over again. Yeah. And everybody's like, cool. Sounds good. I hear when you're desperate for a cure, and like back then, it's not like we had like.
They were desperate for a cure, and he was desperate for a check.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's like him preying on these already vulnerable people that, like, I think is maybe the most haunting thing of all.
Allegedly.
I did like think about this when I was. So after I wrote the script and I was in the shower, I was kind of thinking about it. It's like, kind of the scariest thing is you don't know if he, like, I guess we'll never know if he really believed he was doing something good. Mm-hmm. Or if he was just so misled and like had to defend like what he'd been standing on for so long, like, or I think he was intentionally, like you said, like doing it for a check. Like, was he intentionally manipulating these people, or was this like, either way, once people started dying, he definitely should have stopped.
Yeah,
that's, I think
he probably should have been like, you know what,
this
guys?
isn't an all cure. It maybe it worked. Hypothetically, maybe
you
it
know.
Worked once.
I'm sorry, Al, for what I did because I don't actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's.
Well, medicine is not on-the-job training. Yeah, I mean, it is after school.
Yeah. What eventually brought an end to Baker's Hospital were charges of mail fraud in 1940 for posting materials promoting his cure. He served 3 years in prison, then he retired to Florida, where he lived until his death in 1958.
No disrespect, but of course he went to Florida.
While he was doing that, the Crescent fell into disrepair. And it was not until 1946 that the property was purchased again and renovated to its original look, reopening as a castle in the air high atop the Ozarks. Obviously, that's some deep like history and lore behind the Crescent, and I would not be surprised if like a patient or two of Baker's was haunting this hotel.
Well, are they?
So, this hotel is so famously haunted that the actual website for the Crescent Hotel included some information about some of the ghosts that have reported being seen.
Arlington, they said, we're not going to really talk about it.
The Crescent said, here are our ghosts. There's nothing we can do about them. They're here. We have two different ways. Be like, don't talk about it, or be like, we might as well talk about the ghost.
Do you want a tour?
So, room 218 is where Michael, an Irish stonemason, fell to his death when building the hotel was known to hang out.
Aw, not Michael.
Yeah, I don't know if I fell to my death. I don't know if I would stay where I fell, but he did. Then
I mean, he might be stuck there, you know, like spiritually.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, after it was a hospital, like maybe it was like, I mean, it didn't say like when he fell, so I don't know, but like it seems like that area had a lot of eccentric, maybe bad things that were around.
Bad energy.
And then there's also a ghost girl known as Theodora. She was a cancer patient, and she's known to be seen fumbling for her keys outside of room 419, as well as tidying up for guests when they leave the room.
Aw, she's fumbling for her keys. I do that.
Yeah.
Am I going to do that in the afterlife?
It made me feel very sad. I was like, oh, because, you know, she probably came there hoping.
You know.
Yeah.
She wanted cancer to be gone. And he was like, I'll put it in a jar and bury it in the backyard.
And then maybe even sadder is there's a ghost. His name is Brecky, and he's a 4-year-old boy. And he was the child of Richard and Mary Breckenridge Thompson, who died in the hotel due to complications from appendicitis. He's been seen throughout the hotel, and they say that he he's often bouncing a ball, so you might like hear it, you might see a ball, you know. But you know, like the sound like when someone's like bouncing a ball, like it's a very distinct sound.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to Brecky. I'm so sorry to Brecky's parents. I don't do dead children. I don't do children ghosts. I don't.
those that's your no.
That's where I draw the line.
So me at elevators, you at children ghosts.
I don't do kids. Like you might not be there like physically, but if I hear a child laughing or bouncing a ball, I'm kicking.
Oh no!
I ain't gonna kick nothing. I'm gonna just go straight through them, but I'm gonna be fearful.
Yeah, and then there was also Dr. John Fremont Ellis. He was the hotel's in-house doctor circa the late 19th century, and he's most often seen or his cherry pipe tobacco smelled near his office, which is now room 212.
Okay, stay away from 212.
Yeah,
stay away from the twos. It sounds like.
And then Morris, who was the famed hotel cat, and he was known as the hotel general manager for 21 years.
The cat?
Was later buried on hotel property and is regularly seen and heard.
This might sound so dumb, but not like the actual general manager, right?
I mean, he
life?
was known as the hotel general manager. Morris, I don't know if.
Okay, this is a joke.
Maybe
it was a joke.
Maybe, but yeah. So Morris, when he passed, they buried him on hotel property, but they still see and hear him
with the bottles. That's how they found the bottles.
No, I think they were trying to make a parking lot. Actually,
okay.
Like, there was something out there, and so now it's open, like a normal hotel room with rooms, spa, places to eat, ghost tours. The morgue is still under the hotel, and yeah, you can stay.
What do they use it for? Is it boarded
ghost
up?
Tours.
They take people to the morgue and be like, 40 people were down here.
You can stay at a haunted hotel in our state, and it seems like you have a choice between like Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas.
I'm good.
Well, you know, but some Arkansans have. And I have some stories from some Arkansans who submitted their stories to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Please, I need some refresh.
You ready?
Yes.
So, Jacob, he didn't submit a last name, but he said he's from Conway, wrote that he had some strange things happen in our hotel room, including a handprint of a small child being left on my brother-in-law's Nintendo Switch, which stayed in the room the whole stay. I feel like when I'm at hotels...
get off my stuff.
I feel like when I'm at hotels, I'm very hyper-vigilant about where I put stuff. Like, I feel like more than I would be at home because, you know, like, I'm in a new place. I want to, like, you know, make sure, like, everything's where I think it is. So I do feel like I would notice, like, if I was like, is there a handprint on here?
A child's handprint. Stop touching my things. I don't do the kid ghost.
And then Gary Person, from Bella Vista wrote, yes, we stayed there approximately in 2012, and when they're checking out, the phone kept ringing at the front desk. The clerk said to the other clerk, it is coming from the pool area again. Then a call came in from another employee that confirmed that no one was in the pool area.
Ooh, and then they were just having this conversation in front of
the guest, in front of Gary.
In front of Gary, and Gary's just like,
no, that would freak me out.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that would scare me a little bit.
He's like, you know what? We're checking out anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You're either the best actors this hotel could have hired, or
could you imagine like just working there casually and like something creepy happens, like something falls, and then you're like with a guest and they like get freaked out and you're like, oh, don't worry, that's just Brecky.
No, that's Morris for sure.
It's just fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I will say I would love to have, like, I do wish employees of these haunted places like submitted stories, because I think it's one thing to go stay a night.
Yeah, to be there day
But
to day.
to work,
Yeah.
like, do you buy it or are you a skeptic? You know?
You're just there. You're like, oh, the lights went out. Well, you know, it happens.
And then I have another story from Aaron Petty, who is from Eureka Springs, the city itself. And they wrote that in March, we were staying at the Crescent while looking for a home to purchase in town. We participated in the ghost tour, and I snapped several pictures. Upon later review, I saw an apparition that looked like Norman Baker.
Norman Baker. No.
Yeah, I'd be like, didn't you go to Florida? Get out of here.
Full body chills. Yeah, stay in Florida.
Mm-mm. And then Taylor Cooper from Rogers wrote, I was severely affected on the 4th floor in the hallway.
What is with the 4th floor, Al?
Right. I felt vertigo and dizziness, as if I could fall over from my equilibrium being completely off. I also captured an unexplainable figure in a photo in the morgue. Props on them for being at the 4th floor and going down to the morgue. If I start feeling sick at 4, I'm not going down to the morgue.
I'm not going to the morgue.
Yeah, so that stops for me there. I will
like,
see y'all next time.
This is haunted. Can't confirm. All right, bye.
Yeah, so those are all the, like, those stories really kind of did it for me, because it's just like, it's just creepy enough that, like, I don't know, like, it's just enough where you're like, oh,
yeah,
I don't know,
like, my spine is chilling.
Yeah.
The room is cold, but you know, we're here.
It definitely feels like Halloween.
It feels like Halloween because it is Halloween.
Yeah.
But you know what we're gonna do tonight? We're going to some haunted hotels. Just kidding. I am fearful.
Yeah, I don't know how much we'd have to do for like a episode inside of a haunted hotel.
Well, let's see.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
But my money's kind of more so on, I guess, where would you rather say, Crescent or Arlington?
I kind of stay. Well, I've contemplated staying at the Crescent, like for my birthday or something, because I'm like, oh, I never spend that much time in Eureka Springs. I kind of want to, and then like knock out 2 birds, 1 stone, go see the Crescent Hotel and stay there and maybe get an experience. But I'm also like, the Arlington seems fun because you get that old nostalgic like. Hot Springs being like a touristy trap town kind of thing, and maybe even stay at the 4th floor, spend some time with Al.
Leave me off the 4th floor. Immediately, you see how Eureka Springs didn't mention the elevator being haunted? I know where I'll be.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, so that's our show, folks. Happy Halloween, and
Thanks for tuning in.
This was so much fun to make with you, Remy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to share like ghost stories with someone else who's also interested in ghost stories.
It's spooky season, y'all, so make sure you go out there, maybe visit some of these locations that we've mentioned these last few weeks.
And then tell us about them.
Yes,
I mean,
please.
I want to know every ghost story ever.
Tell us about them. We may come back. Who knows? Well, anyway, goodbye.